Hello and welcome to the latest Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We are, of course, loud and clear on Welsh football. I'm the former BBC Wales football correspondent, and alongside me, as ever, former Wales international and Premier League player and opinionated man too, Nathan Blake.
Howdy doodly.
Yeah, I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks,
That's
Bert.
okay then.
Yeah.
We, of course, are coming to you from the University of South Wales atrium, and we're brought to you with the valued support of the journalism and media courses, without whom we could not manage this podcast every week. Tell your friends. We're available on all social media outlets: Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads. Watch us on YouTube. Actually, watch us, like and subscribe on YouTube. And, of course, you can get us where you get your usual podcasts, which includes Spotify.
Yeah, subscribe, people. But, get those numbers going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, we're really excited by the way it's gone
Yeah,
so far.
it's gone
but
brilliant.
We want to get bigger and
And
better.
a big thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't say that very often, do we?
Well, it's manners. I was brought up right, you know what I mean? I always thank people, but, you're a bit older than me.
We both want to say thank you for your valued support.
Absolutely. Big thank you.
As I say, tell your friends. I say it every week.
Come again. Go tell your friend.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, we got so much to get through today, mate.
Oh, we're going to have a wrestling match now.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, as you know. But
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
we have got a lot to get through. So we'll start with Wales's top placed club, Wrexham.
Yes, we will. We will. Come on in. Give it to me.
They're just outside the Championship top 6 on goal difference after a really good 2-1 win at Sheffield United. Not a place where they've had a happy hunting ground in recent
Bramall
years.
Lane's a tough place to go,
Yeah.
Fans, listen, those fans don't mess about. There's always 25,000 in there. And I played there and, if you're not on point after 10 minutes, those fans let you know. But tough place to go. Great win, actually, for Wrexham.
It was a great win. Sam Smith and Josh Windass ensured a 2-1 win after they'd fallen behind.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Phil Parkinson's assistant, Steve Parkins, said that he'd gone in the dressing room, the manager had gone in the dressing room and said that was among the top 10 games which they needed to win in the 5 years they'd been there.
To
Because they
maintain the
lost
momentum.
the previous game against Watford.
And it's to maintain that momentum of I think even if they didn't go up, they're desperate to get in the playoffs. And I think what it does is, on top of everything else, it allows you to strengthen, not get players who are as good at strengthen next season. That's what I think. Because I think anyone who joins the Wrexham bandwagon, you're going for promotion or you're going for Premier League.
And how big is it to finish on a high before an international break?
Hugely important. Nothing worse than going back after an international break, knowing that going back to the slog and we got to get that win. We're desperate for a win or anything like that. So to finish on a high is always important, and it's a good feeling that you take into then the international.
Yeah. Nathan Broadhead is on Wales duty, of course. We'll talk about that later. Maybe as important as anything, gives Kiefer Moore a couple more weeks to get fully fit. They expect him back now, I think, after the international break.
Yeah, need him back, I think. He's on such a good roll prior. When strikers get injured, when they're in good scoring form, there's nothing worse because goal scoring is the hardest thing to do. And then if you take out the main goal scorer, all of a sudden, you've got Sam and Josh obviously can get goals, but neither of them have been as prolific as Kiefer. So
no,
it's I'd use the Mo Salah thing. All of a sudden you drop off a cliff with goals, and Liverpool are not challenging. You give Mo Salah half the goals he scored over the last 6-7 seasons, and Liverpool are top 2. That's how important a goal scorer is.
Yeah. They come back with West Brom away on April the 3rd, which is the Friday night. They're outside, as I say, on goal difference, outside the top 6. Southampton have been on a phenomenal run.
They have, yeah, for where they started.
And you're
this season.
basically now talking about a 7-game season. And after the international break, it's West Brom away, as I said, followed by Southampton home.
Yeah, I think, listen, West Brom's not easy for Wrexham, but West Brom are in a hell of a state for a club that they are. So I think Wrexham are going to go there and get a win, definitely. And then I think that Southampton game will be the definitive game between them staying in the top 6 or just missing out.
Have you seen Josh Windass scoring goals? He doesn't celebrate.
I've noticed that lately he's a bit moody, wasn't he? He's been a bit moody.
Yeah, but he doesn't anyway. And
I thought he was passionate about... Sorry, Rob. I thought he was passionate about scoring at the start of the season. But I noticed when I went up to watch the Ipswich game, I think it was, and before that, I noticed around that time, when he did score, I think he had been made sub, and he did score, and he's pushing people off him when they were jumping on him. That's a classic case of I'm a bit moody. I don't think
it's that with him, in that I was reading a quote from a Wrexham player this week, a teammate saying, I don't know how he does it, not celebrating after goals or keeping it sort of, former Sheffield Wednesday player scoring at Bramall Lane on Saturday doesn't affect him, which... In a sense, I suppose, would I be right in saying, well, that just shows the coldness of a striker sometimes? Would that be fair? Or is it a case of, I'd love to ask him, is it a case of, well, I do this for my living. This is what I do. So I'm not going to jump up and down about something that I should be. I think I can do anyway.
I don't know. I haven't a clue.
I've
never really noticed. Everyone celebrates. I've never noticed that he doesn't celebrate. To be honest with you, and if he does, and maybe, like I said, I seen it a couple of months ago where what he was doing was the classic. I'm not happy at the club. For me, I'm not happy because he pushed a couple of people away when they tried to jump on him. So, and I think he was coming off the bench then. So. Maybe it's a follow-on from that. You'd have to go back to early on in the season and previous clubs at Sheffield Wednesday, because I'm sure I've seen him celebrate goals.
Yeah, well, I heard him on a radio station this week.
If it's come from himself.
His time at Wrexham, saying they're so committed to getting to the playoffs. As he walked in, he knew it was the right club. Because
maybe he doesn't celebrate then. Right? I've never really noticed it before because I've never really known a player. I've obviously seen players who don't celebrate their previous clubs and what have you. But
did you always used to celebrate?
Yeah. Yeah.
No matter who?
Yeah. I celebrated at Bramall Lane when I went back there. Like, I've only been gone a couple of months. Giving you stick, you've got to get it back.
So do you used to kiss the Sheffield United badge, and then when you go back there, you give it to him?
I don't think I kissed any badge, to be honest with you. I don't think I did. It's a long time ago, Rob. You got to remember, I retired 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know, but it's still the celebrations.
Yeah. Celebrations. It's I didn't have one main celebration. Sometimes finger in the air. Sometimes you do a backflip or something. Sometimes you just cool and chill. It depends on the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah,
some
players
would celebrate.
Work it out, don't they? They plan a celebration.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, haven't you got anything better to do in training?
I've never been one of them. I've never been one of them slap. Yeah, I was just like, I just wanted to. Once I rammed that ball in the net, I just wanted to go and celebrate with my boys.
Yeah.
Or go up against the fans who have been giving you a bit of stick.
Did you do a carrying the baby one when your children were born, did you?
No, I done that when my eldest Ethan was born. Because we were playing, archives, bloody hell. We were playing at Bramall Lane at home. It might have been Port Vale or something like that. And he'd been born in the morning about 9 o'clock. In the Gwent, but Colin Todd was saying to me, "You got to get back for the game tonight." And I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah. We got a plane booked for you and a taxi, and you'll be at the ground by 6:30." And then so we done it.
And you scored.
Yeah, I scored. And then you had to do it, right? I was so bloody tired. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have sleepless nights with the baby.
I can't believe, how did he know the baby was going to be born at that time?
Oh, sorry, it was a C-section.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
so it was planned.
Okay,
Yeah.
I should know. I should know that.
Yeah.
So, well, that's amazing.
How we ended up there?
Well, it's the way this podcast works. We don't know where it's going.
It just wanders sometimes. Yeah.
So let's get it right. Ethan, your son,
my eldest,
top guy, was born in the morning, and you had a flight up to Sheffield that afternoon.
Yeah.
Colin Todd insisted you play.
18th of March, 97. So 18th of March, 97, I'm sure we played, like I said, I think it was Port Vale, something like that. And the C-section was for about, I think it was about 9:30.
Yeah.
And Colin Todd had said to me, like, I'll ring you at 10. I was like, okay. And he did, as true to his words, rang at 10. How'd it go? Everything okay? Mum okay? Baby okay? Right, great. Right, now, we've booked your flight, blah, 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 blah. I was like, Gaffer, like, can I just, like, he's like, no. We, like, March, we're flying, get your backside back up here. So Bristol to Manchester, picked up at Manchester, straight into Bolton. And to be honest with you, it was a wonderful feeling because you walk in and everyone is so elated for you. Yeah. Right? No matter how tired you are, you're just being carried on a high, to be honest with you. And at that time, Bolton, I think there was 13 or 14 players. We all had a baby within like 12 months of each other. Right. Jimmy Phillips, Gavin Ward, loads of us had kids. So it was a special time.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing. Yeah. And with Wrexham, as I say, West Brom away, Southampton home, Birmingham away, Stoke home, Oxford away, Coventry away, and they finish up with Middlesbrough home.
Yeah. Just what you want, really.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every game is like, okay, there's maybe one or two teams in there won't be paying for anything, but 4 or 5 of them all going for like top, so... Yeah, I'd like that.
Southampton on the 7th, a Tuesday night at the Cairo.
Yeah, that's just fancy a trip?
That's possible. Possible.
7th of April?
Yeah, Tuesday night.
Yeah, could be a...
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we'll have a little chat. Yeah. See if they can get us a couple of seats.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Swansea... They were at a real day of football on Saturday. I was at home. I watched Cardiff on the TV at lunchtime. We'll come to them in a minute. I listened to Wrexham on the radio, and I then sat down and watched Swansea. I mean, I wish I was a betting man sometimes.
Why?
What are the chances of Matt Grimes, the former Swansea?
It always happens, Rob.
Yeah, going back there and scoring.
It always happens. Wonderful goal as well.
And then he gets Sky Man of the match.
It always happens, mate. You know what I mean? I would say there's one of those things that happens in football more than anything else, right? Do you know when a team has... So Rob plays for Newport and then we sell him to Bristol Rovers. Yeah. And there's a stipulation, can he play against you? And you say yes or no. I would always say no. Don't care. He can't play against us. Why? Because the chances are he'll score.
Yeah. Well, he did. 3-0 win for Coventry, who looked pretty tasty. Actually,
I thought Swansea looked all right. There we go. I'm glad you're on the same page there.
Unusual, I know. But I thought
very unusual. I'm feeling a bit lightheaded, actually.
They did. I thought first half. In fact, I tweeted.
I thought they should have been ahead. See.
Yeah, they were decent.
Yeah. I thought Swansea...
And yet they were 3-0 down at half-time.
Yeah, but I'm glad you mentioned it because sometimes, when you say, the result doesn't match the performance, that was a classic case of... I thought that game could have been 3-3, 4-3 Swansea. If Swansea had taken the lead, taken their chances, I thought it's a totally different game. But it just goes to show the significance and the importance of taking the chances, right? It's why they pay strikers the most money, right?
Yeah.
It's because when those chances come along, more often than not, strikers take the chance. But I thought 3-0 absolutely flattered Coventry.
It did.
Absolutely flattered them. I thought, that was more of a 3-3 score line for me would have been, or if one of them, Swansea or Coventry, had nicked it, I would have said, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I thought
second half they were in easy street, Coventry, because they were 3.
yeah, they know. They know. But, there were still, not moments, there were still periods in the game where I felt, go on then, if you get a goal, mind.
Yeah.
If you can get that first goal, but it never materialised.
Interesting, though, afterwards, Andy G on X, who's a regular Swansea City fan, says, interesting seeing a few tweets starting to question Matos. Tends to be what happens with our managers, Tad unfair, in my
Could be
opinion.
worse.
It's a limited squad, which simply isn't as good as the top ones. The excellent run wasn't sustainable. Think expectations need to be more realistic, in my opinion.
Could be worse, Andy. You could be a Spurs fan.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean, it was, that was the end of their 10-game unbeaten run at home.
I think the problem is with social media is it's if you've got 20,000 Swansea fans, you're going to have every type of different sort of reaction, emotion, and what have you. I always say you've got to be able to block that out, and you've got to have that vision and understanding of where it is I'm going, that foresight, right, of going in this direction. If there's anyone who thinks Swansea aren't better since Vito's got there, then I would question your knowledge, right?
Yeah,
but
he's not saying that, mate. He's saying
I think what Andy is saying, I think I'm in totally agreement with him, because I would say Swansea are better than what they were, but he hasn't had a chance to go to the club and talk about recruitment.
No.
Because I think recruitment is a two-way thing nowadays. I don't think it's the manager says, I want those players, and I think clubs go, well, these are the players that fit into sort of our style and way we play, and we've got 3 or 4 in each position. We try and go for what we agree as number one, or we agree with the manager, Rob is the number one, we're going to go for him as the goalkeeper, and then if we don't get him, we get the number 2, which might be Liam. We'll go for him as the backup goalkeeper if we don't get Rob. That's what should be happening all over the park, and you should have, like, I would say, realistically, probably about 6 options. And then you have your sort of, your wild cards.
I do think it's important for all summers, but this summer with Swansea, recruitment is huge.
And listen, like, Rome weren't built in a day, right?
No.
And success can sometimes come at the click of a fingers. Things just click and fit. But long-term success, it takes time to build, right? The problem you got is if every time you go through a bad run, and this is where we're at with football, this is what I think is a big problem to me. If you go on a bad run, there's bad runs and there's bad runs. So Liam Rosini at the moment is getting questioned. A month ago, they were saying what wonderful football he's played. You're always going to have dips, right? It's the level of consistency. But then also you've got to have a look around the club. Like I would say, everyone says about Chelsea, they need experience. And until you get it, it doesn't matter which manager you got in there, you're going to have the same result.
I agree with you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So I look at Swansea and go, well, you're in a better position now than what you were 6 months ago. You've got a better manager. He clearly has been able to do something with the striker that no one else has done, because Vipotnik has been brilliant, right? So you've got him to sign a new contract. I thought you'd probably leave. Got him to sign a new contract. Now you start to fit the pieces of the jigsaw around it, because goal scorer is the one.
How significant is that, though, the new contract? Or is that more
huge
protection for them in case they get...
Well, either way, you've got him.
Yeah.
He signed.
Till
He's yours.
2030.
He's yours, right? So now it's right. You have to... It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Now, right, okay, supporting striker. Well, first of all, how are you going to play? You're going to play with 1 down the middle and 2 wide. You're going to play with 2 strikers. You're going to play with a number 10 behind. How are you going to play? And then you start to fit the jigsaw pieces around. We've got the main piece of the jigsaw. We know he can get 20 goals in this league, right? Can he do it consistently? Well, that's a question that's going to be up in the air. If he gets 10 next year, everyone goes, oh, well. If he gets 25, everyone goes, like, maybe sell him for 25, 30 million.
He's terrific.
Right?
I
think he's got great movement, mate.
And I think his finishing is so
He has
clinical.
got a hammer of a foot on him.
Yeah, he has.
Right? Rarely misses a target, but probably the 2 or 3 games they've lost recently, he's had great chances in. Right? He had great chance against Wrexham.
He did when it was
take the lead,
0-0. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, he did.
So, like I say, they've got the striker, but now go and get. I think they need a bit of a spine change for me.
Yeah.
I think they need a centre half who's got experience and a bit of athleticism. I think they need a centre midfielder who's got a bit of grit and determination. And then, you fit the rest around
I think
that.
wide men are key as well.
And Cabango, can I just say, do you know what I noticed about Ben? He runs heel to toe. Take it from me, Ben. If you want to improve your athleticism, because your brother's a flyer, tell him to get you to run on your toes a bit more. Right. I was watching him, even when he was moving his feet, 9 times out of 10, he's heel first. So he's got this sort of, do you know what I mean? He dips. Yeah. He's not solid and reactive. So I would say if he wants to improve and go to the next level, and this might be the difference, go start to run on your toes, your balls, your feet, because at the moment you're heel and everything takes longer from your heel. So moving your feet, shuffling your feet 5 yards right and left, the way he does at the moment, I guarantee you his heel is first hit the ground.
I shall have a look at that.
Yeah, okay.
I shall have a look, because I haven't noticed that, but that's what an expert eye is.
Well, if I was at Swansea as a coach, I would have sorted that long time, because I used to think he was flat-footed, very lumpy, and I would say even then I would say, right, just let's work on your, what you call it, the bounding and all that, what we call it. I forgot the terminology. But,
no, but you've made it clear what the...
Yeah.
Well, interesting. The build-up to that game.
Oh, you go, who?
Here we go. Major topic of conversation was the programme notes from the Swansea Chief Executive Tom Gorringe, who criticised the TV coverage of their defeat at Wrexham, when, of course, we remember the North Wales club's owners... Rob and Ryan did their own commentary alongside regular presenter David Prutton.
Yeah.
And they were also regularly featured in the build-up. Now, it was an alternative to the Sky Sports regular commentary.
Yeah.
But Gorringe really was not happy. He says, I don't think anyone would dispute that we want to continue to grow the profile of the FL product, which means... and the means by which we do so should be balanced and impartial. In my view, the build-up to and coverage of the game itself left a lot to be desired on those particular scores. He says, with the production being done by Rob and Ryan's own production company, all the guests and focus of their team, there were celebrations with David Prutton, and the advert for the commentary of the game failed to mention that we were playing at all. It felt to myself and a number of members of staff that we were very much, to myself and a number of members of staff, we were very much an afterthought, and that our hosts were given priority at every opportunity. And as a club, we would strongly suggest that greater critical thought is given to how these situations are handled moving forward. That is a position I will discuss with the EFL next week. Now, I read a piece on BBC Sport website, and they said Sky Sports refused to comment, but they did point out Ashley Williams, former Swansea captain, was one of their pundits at the game, and that Vito Matos was interviewed like Phil Parkinson before the match. Now, subsequently, I gather that there were other things that Swansea weren't very happy about.
Yeah, losing.
Well, no, just on the night, the way things were done.
They had won,
I don't know.
If they had won 4-0, do you think this would have been mentioned?
Well, I mean, that's been the reaction from a lot of Wrexham fans. Just sour grapes. What surprised me about it was that the program. Okay, I accept that you would have to be on planet whatever if you missed the fact that Vipotnik had signed a new deal. But this was the top of his program notes, and underneath was
it's burned him.
the news of Vipotnik's deal.
Yeah. I don't think it's. Listen, I agree with what he's saying, principally.
You didn't have to listen to them, though, did you?
But yeah, exactly. Number one, right? And number two, what's his name? The chief exec?
Tom Gorringe.
He's been in the game a while, right? You know how it goes. They follow. That's what happens. You know, you think Sky Sports got about 5 pundits because they're everywhere on everything, right? That's just the way it is. They go with the fame. They go with the numbers. It's what drives the numbers. And right now, Wrexham, Rob and Ryan are the biggest thing that happened to that town in like 50 years, right? When it comes to football, except for Mickey T, right? So, listen, what I'd say is, let it go.
I was surprised it was brought out. I don't have any problems with going to the FL.
I would say, listen, if you go up and pump them, the statement is probably everything about pumping them 4-0 and then a bit of a dig saying, oh yeah, and by the way, Rob and Ryan and Dave were like, yeah. So like put in your pipe and smoke
it. And it should be pointed out that they were also featured. Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I think it was more to do with the American audience because it was on Paramount Plus.
Well, Americans
in the US.
And American influence
in America.
Well, American influence in the Premier League and football in general in the UK is huge.
Yeah,
you know, it's no good just like I said. I think it's like I just let it go, man. It's just like I don't hate. It's like. Listen, if the game was at Swansea and you had Snoop and Modric in a studio, would they be bothered about having Rob and Ryan? No. But if they could and bring it all together, great. Maybe Rob and Ryan should have had a little thought and should have said, oh, we'll balance it and get a couple of people in. But like at the end of the day, I don't think it's that big a deal.
And the other thing I think people should remember is we had this discussion last week in a different context. When you were having a go about, I was having a go at Craig Bellamy for saying, well, the Ashley Phillips story shouldn't have been done. And I'm saying, well, from a newspaper and a journalist point of view, if you get a story like that, you're going to do it, right?
Run it, yeah.
And on this, because I've worked on the inside at BBC, I know just how big Wrexham is on figures.
Yeah.
So anything you put out on Wrexham, online goes huge. But what I want to ask you is it symptomatic of the fact that Wrexham are ruffling feathers and would you say there's growing bitterness towards
it's symptomatic
their
of success. Success breeds haters. If you want me to talk street, that's it. Success breeds haters. I told you a long time ago, Ro, I'm past that hater stage, man. I've never been a hater anyway, but the aggression, all I try and just go with the love and peace, man. You know what I mean? Congratulations to him.
That's where I got it from, is it?
Yeah. And if Snoop comes and Roderick comes and Swansea can do something similar and like the press turn out, because when Snoop went to the stadium, it was everywhere, right? So you got to understand, like, these are two Hollywood, like, bombastic people. It's going to be a big deal. And if Sky can do something to get on the inside, because remember as well, there's so many other competitors now to Sky. You know what I mean? If they can do something with sort of a club like Wrexham, who are at the forefront of news and what have you, and what they've done for football in America, let's be fair, it's football in America, the women's game was bigger than the men's game for a long time, right? So, you know, now you've got, like I said, a lot of American owners have come over and they love the game.
Yeah.
And what they've done at Wrexham is be able to grow the game and get more audience figures. And regardless of what country or who, if it's going forward and growing, I'm like, good luck to you, kid.
And what I would say is, alternatively, what I would say is Tom Gorringe is looking after his own fans.
He's fighting his corner, bro.
We've got Swansea fans in our backroom team, haven't we?
Yeah,
But we talked about this before we came on air, and one said, "Well, I liked what was said."
I would say to Tom, what's more important, and I know it's one game, what's more important is what you're going to look like next year. Is the story going to be about you and Snoop coming over and Modric standing up and you having the TV cameras there and maybe finding yourself in a similar situation? Like, when they were in the Premier League, they had a lot of haters, right? Swans, right? So, success.
There's one thing.
Success breeds haters, mate.
Snoop and Modric on Sky Sports comms.
Yeah,
on a Swansea game next season.
You wouldn't be up to see through the smoke. You'd be like, did he score?
You said that, not me. Right, okay. Interesting, though. And, of course, Swansea are not playing this weekend.
Yeah, man. Tom, let it go, man. Just, I would say, focus on what's important, where you finish this season, and development of your squad for next season. Those are the two most important things. Because this story will come and go, but the season for the fans is the most important thing in it.
Yeah. Let's move on to Cardiff then in League One. I watched their goalless draw with Blackpool.
Yeah, me too.
I was staggered. I put on X.
Okay.
Well, they were booed off at the end by some fans. You were there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
they were booed off by some fans, and I put it on X about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
How ironic. They get booed by their fans after a 0-0 draw at home, and yet they end up the day a point better off ahead of Bolton and Bradford.
Yeah, because Bolton lost, didn't they?
Yeah. This is Ninian mod, Michael Phillips on X. I think he makes a really valid point. He says, I think part of the problem is our fans who got used to Warnock ball type, where you just cleared your lines, banged the ball anywhere upfield, and loaded the penalty area with giants at set pieces. But I hope our fans will remain patient and enjoy this superior type of football. Do you think he's got his finger on something there?
I would disagree with Mike there. I think the bang up the ball, the defence. So
no, you know what he's saying. He's saying
I know exactly
they played
what he's
around
saying.
the penalty.
I know what he's saying, but
they had 70% possession.
I would disagree in the sense that I don't think the fans were frustrated with the style of football. They're frustrated at the tempo of that football.
Right.
So when Cardiff have been at their best, they've ruined teams. Right. Now, I've seen Cardiff this season 3-0 up at home, and Keane Ashford, I'll never forget, went down the left and he just checked and went to pass the ball back. And there was fans in front of me, what are you going backwards for? Right? Because they love the fact that they're up. And I said this recently to somebody, it's the best football I've seen Cardiff play.
Yeah.
Right? In donkey's years.
Yeah.
Right? And if you want to know why Cardiff went backwards, right, on a football, in my opinion, was Malky Mackay. Right? So Cardiff, if you think of Dave Jones's teams and the entertainment, okay, they weren't successful, but that's down to the manager, right?
Yeah.
They play brilliant football. If you look at Cardiff, the 93 team, why are we so loved?
Yeah, because of the football.
Because of the football, right?
Yeah.
So Cardiff fans love football, but they love a style of football that's different to what Swansea developed. Swansea's was a patient. What we see now, sort of a lot, but it's not conducive to British football. British football is very tempo.
Yeah.
Win the second ball, and you tend to win the game. So there's a total difference. I think the frustration for Cardiff fans was because the tempo of the game was too slow. So I'm in possession and I'm taking a touch and a second touch and a third touch. It didn't happen, but one of my bugbears when I was playing, I used to threaten centre halves if they'd say, or fullbacks, when they get the ball and then they go, like, what's that? I mean, you want to just run offside?
Well, they just put their hands out
Yeah,
wide.
as if say nothing's happening. I
Oh,
say,
right.
well, you've got to line up.
Yeah, you see that on the pitch now.
Oh, it winds me up.
They got the ball at their feet, they're under no pressure, and they're asking why nobody's making a run.
Plex, win you, right? Like, don't ever try and expose
I
me
thought you
like
were
that.
a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. Sometimes the tiger comes back, right? The lion just erupts, right? And we are talking about my older days, right?
Okay.
Right? But it's almost like move. But that wasn't necessarily happening. But I do think the movement of Cardiff and the time players were taking on the ball was the problem.
Yeah.
So the football was nice still. But people are going, oh, it's too tippy-tappy. It's not. You love it. There's nothing more satisfying than watching the ball going pop, 1 and 2 touch, boop, 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 boop. Then the team's in behind you, cross, finish. We love it, right? That's football. We all go, that's football. What Cardiff are doing is taking an extra touch or an extra 2 or 3 seconds.
Is that partly because they haven't got Salek there at the moment, Yusuf Salek? Because they've got nobody.
No. I don't. It's not an individual. We're missing a player problem. It's just we are bit gone into this game a bit sort of. Whether a bit of tiredness, they're a bit lethargic, whatever. But the speed of thought and the 1 and 2 touch didn't happen. When I was at Blackburn, I signed for Roy Hodgson. We used to do this drill, right? I'd never done it before. But it was something like the ball could only roll forwards or sideways, and you couldn't be on the ball for longer than 3 or 4 seconds, something like that. Any individual. And what it'd do, it'd make you play a 1 touch, 2 touch, forward thinking. So as a striker, when the ball would come up to me, I could either go there, or turn him and
left, right, or turn it. For those listening to it rather than watching.
Yeah, left over my right shoulder, right over my left over my left shoulder, or get at the feet, turn and be at the defender. But I couldn't go backwards.
Right.
Even if it meant the third man running, it was a drill where you couldn't go backwards. It was a forward thinking, speed up the pace of the game. So the idea was I would get the ball. Those are the days you play with 2 strikers, and you'd always turn to your strength, really. So if my striker's where you are to my left and there's a right winger, I turn towards you because there's only one man to my right, one winger. So 9 times out of 10, unless I think the defender's going to read it, and then I turn out the other way. But what it would do, it would make you play at the higher tempo in training, right? And it was a brilliant drill for that. I just would say to Cardiff, thinking of that and thinking of what I was watching, I think they were just taking that extra touch. They were just a bit slower than normal. And listen, there's 7 games to go. Weariness, tiredness is kicking in, right? And you got to think to yourself, at that point, they were 10 points ahead of the team below them. So there's no real pressure
They're
coming
now
from.
11 points ahead.
So there's no real pressure coming from behind.
Yeah.
The challenge was to go and try and win the league.
Interesting, the form table, Lincoln, 22 games unbeaten. Unbelievable. In league games.
Yeah, my mate Wayne from Lincoln has already been on my case.
They're 7 points clear of Cardiff now.
Yeah, it's not over, mate.
No, but they're top of the league. Last 6 games, they're top of the form table. Plymouth, who are 7th, are in 2nd place in the form table.
They beat Cardiff.
Orient in 3rd.
Yeah.
Stevenage, who are 6th, in 4th. Wigan, Mansfield come before Reading, who are 7th in the table, but 8th. 7th in the form table, but 8th in the league table. Then Bolton, who are 11 points behind Cardiff, are in 8th position in the form table. And Cardiff are 11th.
Well, is why I said last week, if you recall, I think Cardiff are already there, right? Barring an absolute crash.
Yeah.
It was not because Cardiff were playing well. I forget Cardiff. It was because Bolton, my old team,
were not consistent
enough.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right? And they just... I would say if Bolton don't go up this year, if they can keep what they've got and add to it, you've got to better it, then you're in a greater position.
Yeah. So, well, we shall see what happens. And, I mean, it's tempting to say Cardiff probably needed the international break. They should have Salek back at the end of the international break. But, of course, a lot of their players are out on international duty anyway.
I felt they missed that drive of... Colwell in midfield.
Yeah, I thought Joel Colwell should have been on earlier than he was.
I think they missed Joel. Like I said before, I think he is, not by Cardiff fans, but I think he's extremely underrated. And it may be because his brother is so highly skilled. But I think Joel, he's not the level of skill of Ruben. Ruben can do things like no other players here do. But what he can give you from that midfield position like I said, at Rotherham, I've seen him. They
Drive, momentum.
mate, and his finishing is
Yeah.
brilliant,
Yeah, it
right?
is, yeah.
He's a player. I felt, the manager makes the decisions, but I felt he was kind of missed. He was someone who's, and again, it might be just like you sat down because
Yeah.
you're young and you can keep going to the well. And I think that's what we're seeing with the Cardiff squad. Because don't forget, apart from NG, Chambers, Robinson, there's not loads of like experience, is it?
No,
There's a lot of
they're
youth.
really young side.
They 23 average, I think,
and
something
also,
like
they
that.
never go with the goalkeeper on the bench. You notice that?
Yeah, we used to do that. Bolton sometimes. John McGinley was our backup goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Never worried about it.
No.
Seen him playing goals when we were, I think, 2-1 up against someone at home at Bramall Lane. And he made some brilliant saves.
Oh, well,
he was quality, McGinn.
Right, yeah. Let's go into Newport County and then heartbreak. Leading 1-0 at Walsall. Walsall pulled back an equaliser and then a goal 90 plus 7 minutes
Sickening, wasn't it?
from Alex Patterson. Broke their hearts.
Yeah.
They're still out of the bottom two, and this week Crawley, the side above them on goal difference, got rid of their manager, Scott Lindsay, and his assistant after a 10-game winless run, though they'd drawn a few of those games.
Yeah.
Newport, the only team in action from the EFL this weekend in Wales. They're home to Shrewsbury, who've had this little run forward to get out of really the relegation scrap.
Yeah, they're League One
And then
team,
it's
really,
Crawley home the following Saturday.
Yeah. Well, they beat Crawley in the second game of the season.
Yeah,
there, didn't
these
they?
are two absolutely
Ding-dongs.
gigantic.
Well, listen, you beat Crawley and you create a gap. So I think what Newport have got to do is, I think that their 1 point might be enough, the point that they've got, which they out of the bottom
They are out
two,
of the bottom
right? 31
well,
points.
they're on 31 points. Harrogate are on 30. Barrow on 29.
Yeah.
Barrow have got a game in hand, but
Someone else sacked their manager as well and brought someone in
that
lower
was
down.
a few weeks ago. There's talk at Crawley, actually, of Colin Kazim Richards coming in. So...
Well, listen, they clearly, what they've done is like sack the manager hoping for a bounce of some sort, right? Because they're probably saying as a board, well, we're gone anyway at the moment. We don't see anything that this manager's doing that's going to give us a lift to get up and above, which is great for Newport. If Newport can get a win before they do, it just crushes the spirit. Yeah. It really, really does.
Huge on Saturday.
It is massive. So, and what Newport got to stop doing is just throwing away late.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Bromley was last couple of minutes.
Come on, like it means, it might mean like you stick an extra man in defence and put 4 in midfield and just leave one up top on his own, or drop in the striker and do it like that.
I would say that I think they are playing better now than they were.
It's simpler football.
Yeah.
Well,
it is, yeah.
It's not rocket science. I like Dave Hughes, but I said to you a long time ago, did I not? He's got, you can go back and check the podcast. If you're up here and your idea of what you want to do is up here and the team you've got is down here, either they've got to rise or you've got to drop until you're in unison together. And then when you're in unison together, then you can start putting the other arms and pieces on to then keep growing. I think what they've done was go in at level 10 instead of going in at level 1 and growing to level 10. His idea of how he wanted to play football is all well and good. But if I was looking at it, I would say, well, don't, because you're lacking in so many different things and you're not going to get the results that you want because you haven't got the players to get those results.
Well, that's what they do it now. Otherwise, we shall see. But I'm sort of encouraged by the form, but they've got to deliver results the next
They need a win.
Home games.
They need to get a win before the bottom. Two.
Right, we've got loads to get through, so we'll just do highlights from some
rattling.
Merthyr and the domestic leagues. Matos out of the top 3 in the National League North now. They were beaten 4-1 away to second place South Shields last Saturday, and there were midweek wins Tuesday night wins for Kidderminster.
Yeah, their wheels are coming off,
and
and they
Matos
slowly. Yeah. And
but they're still fifth still in the playoff place, but it is getting tighter for them.
Yeah, I don't see the. I'd want to see their games more. I can't really say, I just give an opinion, right? A solutionize. I always say solutionize. I can't really I have to go and watch them. But I think also losing, like I said before, losing players is a big thing, right?
Big shout out to Colwyn Bay. They beat TNS 2-0 with goals from Lewis
Go on the Bay.
and Jordan Davis. I don't know if you've seen this.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Davis involved in one of the most controversial incidents of the game.
Okay.
TNS finished with 10 men following the dismissal of their goalkeeper, Jack Edwards.
Okay.
And there's a clip of the incident on social media, and I really can't. Keeper came out as Jordan Davis was going through, and I can't see any touch. Jordan Davis went to ground. Keeper gets sent off. I can't see a touch.
It happens.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's the pace of the game. Referee looks like, and let's be fair, players don't need encouragement to go down.
No.
If they think they're going to win a penalty. Yeah. And there is something.
Oh, it wasn't a pen. It was outside the box, but he had to go.
Well, it's a red card, so there's an advantage going to be gained,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
So, and strikers and keepers.
I don't want to do Jordan Davis a disservice. There may have been I just can't see one. That's what I'm saying. And there were others on social media saying exactly the same. But hey,
you could point at over the years. You could point at thousands. You can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you might ask the player why you went down. He might say, "Oh, I thought he was going to take me out," because that's another one. You've seen it where a player goes down thinking the keeper's going to come and take him, and then the keeper pulls out last second, and he goes over, and he usually gets a yellow card. But depending on where the referee was and what have you,
I think the ref was
and you don't have VAR. Well, you don't have VAR, so how it looks, if his arms come up and he goes over, it looks like he's taking him out. But
in the playoff conference, second from bottom, Bala did themselves power of good with a win over Haverfordwest, thanks to a goal from Cameron Ferguson. In the Gennaro Adran Premier League, Cardiff City women are still clear by a point from Wrexham after a 2-1 home win over Swansea City.
Oh, okay.
And Wrexham kept up the pressure of the 1-0 win over the New
going to the
Saints.
wire.
And this weekend, Sunday to be precise, it's Wrexham home to Cardiff with a 5:10 kickoff. You can see it on S4C Click, Scorio YouTube channel, and
when
the
is
BBC
that?
iPlayer, Sunday afternoon, 5:10 kickoff.
Oh, I'm going to tune into
that.
Yeah, I'm going to tune into that, I think.
And in the Gennaro Adran North, because I'm keeping an eye on the divisions
What's
below now.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Connorskey Nomads. They secured a title with a 2-0 win over Flint United. Phoebe Ellis and Mel Barlow scored the goals. There was a goalkeeper sent off in that one as well. Flint's Shaughnessy Kennedy, who was red carded for handling outside the box. They will now meet the South champions, Gennaro Adran South champions, Cardiff Met, in a promotion playoff on April the 26th.
Interesting.
And
the winner then goes up,
providing they've got the
stadium facility. Yeah.
So, which brings us...
Nothing worse though than winning and then not being able to go up because the stadium is not
to be fair,
developed.
The clubs know this when they go into these...
Yeah, but that's what I've said to you before. I think, because there's only ever like one or two clubs it's going to happen to each year, I think the Welsh FA should have a fund. Right?
I think they do help out with that.
Well, they might do, but if they haven't, they should have a fund and they should help them bring their stadium up. Because then you attract more fans, and then you become a big. And because I don't think there's the money in Wales from outside people to invest in. It's not like we've got billionaires left, right, and centre, or multi-millionaires left, right, and centre. So I think like it's the responsibility of the association. I would be saying there should be some sort of fund where. Not you can get 20% or 40%, where the FAW will say, right, boom, we'll do that. And maybe you pay them back 25% of that over 5 years or something like that. But I believe like you think like planning and development and all that, it's not just about, we can throw up a new stand. there are sort of laws and regulations
Well, when
you got
Noel
to go
Mooney
through.
comes on, and he has said he would come on before the end of the season, we'll ask him about that.
Yeah. I would.
Now, you and I will be Thursday night, huge for Welsh football.
What's happening Thursday?
You and I will be at the World Cup playoff semi-final.
Oh, yeah.
Wales take on Bosnia
yeah,
Herzegovina
yeah,
at Cardiff City Stadium.
Yeah.
Italy play Northern Ireland in Bergamo, where Merthyr went all those years ago to play Atalanta on the same night. And then the two winners will meet
At Cardiff City Stadium on Tuesday.
Well, hopefully.
Is it Monday or Tuesday?
hopefully Tuesday. Yeah. So, give me a starting lineup for Wales. What are you laughing at?
No, I won't. I can't.
You can't.
Oh, sorry. Am I boring you? Sorry.
No, I
am
was just checking.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I was just checking that everything is okay.
Yeah. I can't give you a starting lineup, Rob, because, and it's not more. I think. I don't even think the defense sorts itself out. I'm not sure who replaces Ben. Right.
So let me give you the team that beat North Macedonia.
Okay.
It was Darlow,
Stays.
Nico Williams,
Been brilliant on
Joe
fire.
Roden,
Been brilliant on fire.
Dylan Lawler,
Not been on fire, but okay. Question.
Jada Silva,
Question.
Josh Sheehan and Liam Cullen in midfield.
Josh Sheehan and Liam Cullen.
And then it was a front four, Dan James, David Brooks, Harry Wilson and Brennan Johnson. Now, Ampadu and
A back.
Jordan James weren't available for that
Yeah.
game, so those two are surely back.
Yeah.
Does he sacrifice one of the strikers maybe?
Sorry, Jordan James, wasn't he available?
No.
He wasn't against North Macedonia, was he? But he hasn't been playing, Jordan, has he?
He's been playing for Leicester.
No, I'm talking in the internationals.
I think, wasn't he ruled out with a yellow card?
He's in and out of
Yeah.
the starting lineup
Yeah.
with Craig. But I think he's important, see. I would play him. I would play him and him and Ethan next to each other. I thought they created a really
Do you
good
think
partnership.
he might go for... Does he have... What about Bosnia then? They only didn't qualify automatically because they conceded 13 minutes from time against Austria.
Austria 1-1.
Yeah.
Decent Austria as well.
Yeah.
So, regular sort of qualifiers, or serial qualifiers, you would say. And I think
And Edin Dzeko is 40, but he's still scoring
he's
international
got 5 goals
Yeah.
in this
He's
campaign.
got more goals than the whole of the Wales squad.
Yeah. He's a phenom. I love it when I see players because when you get to a certain age, your brain goes into such sort of overdrive of understanding what's going to happen, but your body just can't carry you there.
Yeah.
So if you physically can still do it, then it's a massive deal. But I think it's going to be a hell of a game, mate. I really do. I don't look and I put us favourites because we're at home and because the form we've showed and the form the boys are in. But there are elements which unnerve me then, shall we say. And I'm not sure what the front line would be. Because Brennan was amazing, but he hasn't played for Palace. Brooksy, I love. I always think I would play him regardless.
Yeah.
Dan James can ruin anybody on his day. No Kiefer Moore. Then you got Nathan, and there's options, mad options up front.
How much does he have to think of bringing
Harry,
someone off the bench?
Bellis will cover every
So
eventuality.
Nathan Broadhead possibly off the bench. Could start.
Could start. That's what I'm saying. We
Yeah.
don't know, Rob,
No,
right?
we don't.
It's a difficult one. And that balance, that's why Craig is the manager, is to get that balance right. And you have to say, so far, he's been pretty good at it. You know what I mean? He's been pretty good. So, I think the North Macedonia should be a huge injection of confidence for the players. What they produced was out of this world. but also the players like you mentioned, Nico, Ethan, Roden. These players are in great form. Goalkeeper, good form. Darlow.
We haven't always had that.
Exactly, right. So I would say most of the players are playing. De Silva, Coventry flying at the top of Championship. So they should be in good form. Harry's in Wonderland, isn't he?
Form,
yeah. So, but like I always say, you've got an opposition. You know what I mean? You can't just look at it from our point of view and say, right, we're going to do this because, okay.
I only got a manager in the opposition who's chucking out bombs everywhere.
Oh, okay, what's he said?
Well, he one of his players plays for Steve Cooper at Brøndby.
Okay.
Brøndby in Denmark.
Yeah.
And Benjamin Tahirovic. And he hasn't been playing him lately by all
He's
account.
a striker, yeah?
Midfield player.
Midfielder. I think he only played 2 games.
Barbarez called him out and saying he hasn't been playing him because of the Bosnia game coming up against Wales. So apparently there's been an apology now.
The manager hasn't been playing a player because he wants to save him for Wales.
No, because he doesn't want him in good form to play against Wales.
Oh, that's why Steve Cooper's not playing him.
Yes. So there's an apology since that was made.
That's ridiculous.
But this is what it does. A friend of mine on Fleet Street works for one of the national papers. Said to me, I might even come down on Wednesday night to watch the manager, the Bosnian manager, because if he's throwing bombs out a few days before, who knows what he'll say on the eve of the game.
Let me get this right. The international manager said it's about Steve Cooper, as if Steve Cooper secretly is like our
as if he's helping Bellas by refusing.
Well, he is. I've seen the text. I'm only joking.
It's a great line, though, isn't it?
It's brilliant. We can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. So anyway, so you think Wales just?
Yeah, I've got Wales. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm not usually overconfident. I'm usually confident because of what I know we can do and what I've seen us do. But I don't know. These have got some tricky players, man, and they've got some experienced players, right?
Yeah.
And they're younger players. They're 23, 24-year-olds tend to play far more than their 32, 33-year-olds defensively and in midfield. So they must have a bit about them, right? And you've got the big man up front whose experience is going to be, well, his experience is unbelievable,
there's some big
right?
clubs: Atalanta, Sampdoria, Benfica.
Yeah. They're not playing like second division Italian league or
No.
small tiny
Even
clubs.
Paphos have been in Europe, haven't they?
It's a tough
one.
game, and honestly, people go, "Oh, Italy or Novel." I don't even look past that.
No,
I'm not even. Don't even listen. Talk to me Thursday night or Friday about those games.
Well, you and I will be talking on Thursday night because after the game, we're going to put a little bit out on social media on behalf of the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast.
Yeah.
Because as you know, we're loud and clear on Welsh football.
So we're not in tears, right, Rob?
Well, let's hope the next one after this one is talking about Wales qualifying because we will have played Italy.
It won't be the same going away without you, though. We're going to the World Cup and what have you, and Euros. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
we did do 2016. Got a wife got a new bird, sacking me off. Look,
I never say bird anyway. She wouldn't like that.
Oh, girlfriend.
Yeah. I think. I'll be honest, right? There's part of me if Wales get there, would love to be in the USA. But
also, it's a bit scary right now, right?
But it's also scary. But nevertheless, what I would say, and I've got commitments, so I can't go to the USA even if Wales get there. But what I would say is, I don't think anything will ever touch Euro 2016. That is my greatest memory of all the 27 years of the BBC Wales, 10 years on the South Wales Echo, 5 years on the Argus in Newport, or 3 years. Western Morning News, Ron the Leader. I've
Yeah,
done all those.
Thanks for that, because we didn't work together.
And Euro 2016 was just...
So that was me paying you compliments, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you and all that."
I
So
know.
I'm gonna say, and then you just jab me in the solar plex. And then, well, yeah, 2016 was the greatest, and you weren't there, Nate.
No, you were there for some of it.
I was there for
I
5
saw you there.
Live.
Yeah, there we are. So,
but you and I weren't together.
no, but
That's all right.
I'll
mate,
miss you not being there.
It's okay.
And I'll expect calls off you
I'll
in the
just get
summer
a bit of tissue for my nose.
when you're living it up in the US of A. Just be careful. That's all.
Listen, I won't be going outside of the doors the way things are over there. I swear, it's crazy.
Anyway, it's been fantastic. We got so much to look forward to. As I said, Nathan and I will be putting stuff up.
Let me ask you: do we win? Do we beat Bosnia?
Put it this way, I was really pessimistic against North Macedonia.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit pessimistic. I'm a bit like you. I'm on the fence. I think we might beat Bosnia, but I'm not absolutely convinced.
Okay.
Which I suspect sums up where you are.
I'm right in
I think
that.
the crowd might just...
I always say it's difficult. We're difficult to beat at home.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know. I should be full of confidence after the Macedonia and what have you. But I don't know. Something just got me in a little bit of a spin. I'm like, I'm 50-50.
Well, Wales have never beaten Bosnia, so it's about time
that might be
it
it
right.
then, yeah.
And actually, one of the greatest moments in Welsh football, which led to Euro 2016, was in Bosnia. But that was a defeat.
Yeah. I was
anyway,
on Cookie.
Yeah. So as I say, Nathan Blake and I will be back on social media Thursday night, Friday morning. Have a look out for us. We'll give you our verdict. And then we're back next week when hopefully Wales will have booked their place in America, but we shall see, with the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We're loud and clear on Welsh football. See you then.